I have these little conversations between videos, you know. Recharge my battery a little bit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, my battery's almost dead on my laptop. Whoops.
Here's that shot.
Yeah, that. Oh, that's sad. Oh.
This is one of those where they show more of the city than you can explore type of thing.
Right.
But old games had to do that.
That's upsetting. I lived here forever, and now, looking back at it, it's actually just a bunch of ruins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game's got interesting time travel in it, too. 8 kind of has that. 9 really doesn't, but then 9 has the infamous giant space flea from nowhere.
And hippo people.
It's true, yeah.
Again, I know you love 8, but I know nothing about 8.
That's
and
fine.
I know nothing about 9.
I've often thought about getting 2 more cats. A slightly smaller orange cat and a bigger black cat.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, then I'll have to get 4 dogs. I'm
Keep
just
them
recreating the entire cast of Final Fantasy X in pet form.
There you go. That's the dream right
Maybe
there.
just Yuna. She's very friendly to other animals I've seen.
Yeah.
Except for birds. Try to run up them. I guess I didn't tell you that story.
No?
I came home from work last Sunday. Or Monday, I forget which, and it was raining. And she's laying out there on the windowsill like she does. Just hanging out. I walk out and I'm like, hey, are you enjoying watching the rain? And she just suddenly jumps up, trying to run, almost trying to knock out the window.
Jeez.
Because on the top of the window, a raven had landed.
Oh, wow.
So she's literally like a foot away from her prey. And she was like going nuts in a way I've never seen. I mean, I've seen her anxiously watch prey before, but she's like, it's right there, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to kill it. I came back like 30 seconds later and petted her, and she like turned around all sweet.
Hmm? Yeah, I wasn't doing anything. It's fine.
Yeah, she just, she wanted to feed me for once.
Behold this thing that I have given you.
Always stealing my food. Here's a very sad flashback. You can probably find a place right behind the TV to plug in.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It's not quite as big of an electronic abortion as the one that was in my room at my folks' house. That was power cords plugged into power cords, plugged into three-way outlets and everything.
Fun time.
Basically, you stack a 6-item power cord if you put 3 outlets and all that. So that's 6 times 3, so you can run 18 devices. So you are burning this house down with that. Like the fire marshal is going to shut us down.
I got it.
Okay. Resume the cuddling.
Nah. Give me your cards, old man. I won't take nah for an answer. Nah. Who put this here? Like how many?
It fell out of her robe.
How many customers does this guy get?
Oh, the ring shop. Well, there's actually 10 and 7 are connected.
Are they?
Ren and the kid are like the ones that develop like stealing the bloodline, the bloodstream of the planet, pretty much. Because his name is Shinra. So the Shinra Corporation taps into the planet in 7, and they're using it for like electricity.
Okay.
So imagine if like we're using the power of the internal Earth for electricity, but we're destroying that its method of keeping itself alive by doing that.
Oh, good.
So again, this is the optional stuff in 10-2. You get 100% completion. Track down who's been destroying the cameras on this high road, and you come up to the shop owner, and then the shop owner's like, well, I have a theory about mining the energy from the planet. And people that know better are like, no, you don't. So there's apparently and then before that, none of the games had any connection to each other, except for Gilgamesh, but he's not in this one.
So did they retroactively make them connected?
Yeah, kinda. I don't know if it was just a big nod, like if they go into space later or something, because they're not on the same planet.
Right.
But they really, this guy Gilgamesh would show up in guest games. He's like a sword collector, so they reused him. And enemy designs. I'm sorry, I'm talking all over you. This fucking Emmy moment here.
That's kind of what we've been doing this whole time.
I know, but it's more interesting, I think.
Because, up until this point, yeah, Kimari's been there, but we don't really get to hear about their relationship.
Well, that's the thing with having, this strong, silent character. It's the big downfall when it comes time to explore their motivations. It's it happens all at once. Because there's been no development throughout the story.
Yeah.
She's been quiet the whole time. You can take the airship to that little place out there.
I was wondering about
I forget what kind of cool... It's one of the hidden coordinates and you get some cool treasure at. It might be like Lulu's Tetrabangle, which absorbs fire, water, and ice attacks, I think.
Oh man, my favorite band from the 70s was Tetrabangle.
Yeah. Now they came before Jefferson Starship, or...
No, back when they were still Jefferson Airplanes.
Oh.
Which, first of all, why?
Because bands and stupid fucking names. That's why. That paved the way for the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, there you go. I think I mentioned this to you before, but there was this one thing I saw once where it was like the evolution of rock. It was one of those infographics.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had different, all the different decades of rock music and what they were like in different methods. So there was a chart that explained the loudness of each decade and how popular they were in each decade. One of them was different, the topics of each decade. And it was each one was just a woman in that style dress for each decade, except for the 70s, which was a tree man in a wizard's costume smoking a pipe. Oh, it's sad. This is a sad scene.
I just want to say thank you for everything. Maybe that's what hurts.
Oh, what a downer.
When I think about us never being together again at all.
This is supposed to be her eulogy, by the way.
That makes sense.
This is, when she was willing to die for the cause and all that.
Yeah.
Oh!
I shouldn't say that.
It hurts my soul.
And yeah, it's...
Oh yeah, because she's recording into the thingy.
Yeah, and this is when
What you up to?
interrupts her and they have their little cute moment here.
Yeah.
Oh!
He turned into Ganondorf there for a moment.
I downloaded a randomizer for Ocarina of Time and I tried to run it, but I have to find version 1.0 of the Japanese cartridge.
Ooh, okay.
So, and Nintendo with ROM sites, so that's going to be a fun adventure one day to do.
Yeah. I miss being able to do Game Boy Roulette. That was so much
Yeah.
fun. I can't do it anymore.
I have a lot of games downloaded, but I don't... There's not, there's no true randomness to it then, as much.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, it's random of these 500 games, but that's not nearly as, of the whole library.
Yeah, because,
There's some sleepers in there.
Oh yeah. Like if I were to bring up the document right now that would tell me all the different types of games that were on the Game Boy Advance library, you'd be surprised because a lot of terrible movies came out between the years of 2001 and 2007.
Yeah, remember when they had to make a video game for every kids movie ever that came out?
Yep.
It started with like right after like Toy Story.
Oh yeah, actually the Toy Story game was not that great. But the Bugs Life game for the PS1, that was a good game.
I remember the Lion King game was hard.
Oh yeah.
The Genesis. I don't know, I didn't really play a lot of movie time. I got Family Guy, the video game.
Oh boy,
the PS2.
that was exciting.
I mean, it was kind of fun at the time when I was like a little younger, but they didn't need to do this. Why did they do this? Like, it's kind of my thought of it now.
Also, picked a random spot on this list of games from the Game Boy Advance library. Mighty Beans Pocket Racing.
There you go.
Do you remember Mighty Beans?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
no, I'm thinking of the Homies. You remember the Homies?
No.
You never saw the Homies?
You say that like that's a thing everybody knows.
Yeah, kids, remember quarter vending machines in stores?
Okay, I'm back in. I was out, now I'm back in.
The Homies were in little guys that were in the little plastic bubble things. You put 50 cents or $1 in, I forgot how much, you turned it, and you got these little tiny thuggy guys.
Oh,
There's no other way to describe it. And I guess you were supposed to collect them all.
I bet there were like 12.
Yeah, that are 26. That seemed to be the number.
Mighty Beans were like little plastic guys that had magnets in them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you put them on a metal sheet and they stood straight up.
That was my, that scene there was my Facebook profile picture thing for the longest time.
Oh yeah,
So
that's the opening scene. Didn't realize that. But yeah, they always had like really...
So this has all been a flashback.
The whole thing has been a flashback, and now we're finally caught up.
Kinda.
Now we can play Final Fantasy X.
That's kind of what this scene implies, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's telling the story.
Yes. I think that
She's like, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sacrifice my life for the good of my nation tomorrow. I'm getting some sleep.
How many days would you say has passed since they left?
That's an interesting thing, because I just thought about that with something I was watching earlier. I forget what it was though, but it couldn't have been like more than 2 days for that.
Let's go.
At least a couple weeks, I would say.
Yeah, probably.
You gotta imagine those boat rides are actually kind of long.
Yeah, because they don't actually tell you how long it takes. It's just like a quick montage of traveling.
Yeah.
So you don't. There's probably no way to calculate it properly, unless you somehow, like, figured out how big the world is.
Yeah.
And then measured it.
Well, the cool thing about this game is when you're trying to collect the animals, if they're the monsters for the creature arena, you can actually retrace your steps from Besaid. Take the same boats and travel the same journey.
Ah.
Which I've done. It is insane, but you can.